When it comes to people who settle for less, I cannot have any sympathy, empathy, nor sorrow for them. And the reason why is because you are choosing to settle for less and you're expecting me to hear your complaints, to hear your sorrows, your worries, and still find solutions for you when the solution is right in your face. Get out, cut the cord, and expect better for yourself. It is not my job to help you figure out that you deserve better. It is up to you. I can tell you it all you want. You can hear it 1,000 times. We can have it in 1,000 different languages. And if it doesn't comprehend, it just doesn't comprehend. If you know someone, or if you yourself has a habit of just settling for someone who is comfortable, who is the safe choice, what is the safe choice? Whether that's a job opportunity rather than chasing your dreams or doing whatever it is, please know that those actions you willingly chose. So the consequences, which is being uncomfortable, feeling stagnant, feeling as if things are so unpleasant, those are the consequences that you receive when you choose to limit yourself. If you choose to now not limit yourself anymore, there will be unlocked potential, unlimited potential that you will be able to observe and see for yourself. However, until that day comes, you will be sitting there in a locked room where you have the key, and yet you'll be complaining how you can't get out. So if you are done settling into a relationship, settling into a job opportunity, settling into whatever, I'm glad that you stumbled upon this video so that we can get into the spellcasting session. So I need you to get your modern or ancient spell book and wand so that we can get into this magic and finally unlock unlimited potential. Hi, I'm Samantha, your witchy witch, and welcome to the House of Magic, where we magically transform ourselves into our best selves. Now, if you are a first-time watcher, welcome, my witch or warlock, and I welcome you to the coven. If you are a part of the coven, I say welcome, welcome, witch, or welcome, welcome, my warlock. Let's get into it. So first things first, you need to accept that you are at fault. There is no one holding you at gunpoint saying that you have to take this job opportunity, that you have to accept this person into your life, whether that is someone who is a significant other, a best friend, an acquaintance, an associate, whoever it may be. No one is forcing you to do this. And even if they are heavily advising you, they can't force you to do anything. You, at the end of the day, are the CEO of your life. And when it comes to being the CEO in life, it means having to hear 1,000 opinions and still go for the option that you know is best for you and the company, not for the people who you want to appease because you don't want them to think that their opinion, their advice is irrelevant. No. We want to make sure that the business, our life, is thriving, that is doing the best that it can, and you are just slacking because you fail to point the finger at yourself. There is no one else to blame. You can say that there were other people who encouraged you, but who allowed those words of encouragement to change their actions, to change their behavior? You did. Let's get it simple, let's get it done. It's happened many times to many people in many different timelines. There are probably people 500 years ago who did the same thing, and it will continue to happen because we are all human. This is a judge-free zone, but we're also accepting responsibility and we're taking accountability, which means you have to accept that you have allowed things to get this far. You have allowed yourself to settle for someone who isn't really the best person for you. You have to accept that you chose a job that wasn't the best for you, because you're going to have to make a sacrifice when it comes to settling. You're not getting everything that you desire. You're getting what you think you can get, what you feel comfortable getting. Maybe you don't think that you deserve those things, or maybe you do think you deserve them, but you're not confident enough to step out into the unknown and allow yourself to take that risk to get whatever you want. Regardless, accept it is your fault. Apologize to yourself. Give yourself grace. You didn't know any better, but you learned your lesson now, and we're going to move on. And as I am pointing the finger to you, I have pointed the finger to myself during many occasions. There have been many times in the past where I would be in a friendship and I would think, oh, well, things are kind of going awry, but at the very least, I can say that I have a friend. I have someone who I think I can rely on. I think who is meant to be a lifelong friend. And we can look back and go, wow, I can't believe that we've been friends for 10 years, 20 years down the line. But now looking back, I go, these people were seasonal friends. The way that I like to look at it is this. Let's just say you have a friendship and it's spring. Everything is blossoming and blooming. Everything is beautiful. There might be a couple rainy days, but still that allows everything to grow. Maybe they're there for you and you're there for them whenever things feel down, but that allows the friendship to grow. And then there's summer. Everyone's having fun. School's out and everyone's on vacation, enjoying their time. It's great. Everyone's being able to spend time with one another, catch up, everything. Just like the earth goes through its seasons, so do friendships. And sometimes they turn cold, they become winter, and that is when it's supposed to end. That's the end of the year, that's the end of the friendship, it is the end of that cycle. And yet some people choose that now Mother Nature should actually change that winter into the spring that it once was, or the summer that it once was, because they're thinking about all the good times that were once had, not that they are having. Instead of having amazing time with the person that they once felt so amazing about, or the job, whatever, you can apply it, fill in the blank, okay? Now all of a sudden things feel so much harder. It feels as if you're pulling teeth and you can't understand why. It's because it's not meant for you anymore. You are now settling. You need to grow. You need to blossom. You have outgrown this pot. You have outgrown this season. Quit wearing the summer attire in winter. Get your winter coat and go inside. Quit choosing to stay in the season that is not meant for you. Admit that you are at fault, plain and simple. And you can apologize to yourself because, again, we are human once, unless you believe in reincarnation. But for the most part, you are learning as you are growing, okay? Once you learn that lesson, allow that lesson to be a one-time thing. Do not let life have to hit you multiple times in order for you to realize that you settling and you limiting yourself isn't the way to go. So give yourself the best options that you can by saying, you know what, I apologize. Look in the mirror. I apologize to myself for allowing myself to limit my own opportunities, my own potential. And this comes into the next lesson, which is cut the cord. Plain and simple. That job that you absolutely hate getting up for. That friend who no longer feels as if they are even an acquaintance at this point. Heck, they feel more of a stranger than they do an actual best friend. Or heck, they even feel like an enemy rather than a friend. Cut the cord. If it feels draining to even keep up, it's not meant for you to increase your cardio. If you are out of breath, you're running and running and running and running. This is not the Lord, this is not the universe or anyone telling you that you now have to train as if you were going for a marathon. No, that is them saying, hey, quit wasting your breath, quit wasting your energy. This isn't meant for you. It is trying to run away from you because it's not meant for you. So let's cut it. And if you don't cut it, then it eventually becomes so hard for you to hold on to that it hurts you to the point where you just have to let go. I remember there was a friend who I had in high school, and I thought that maybe we could be friends for a pretty long time. And when I realized all the actions that they did versus what I did for them, I realized that I would be the person who was settling while this other person would be getting all the rewards. They were reaping all the benefits because I was there for them when they needed me. I was there to give them advice. I was there to be the helping hand, everything for them. I was every role. But then when I needed assistance, when I needed help, all of a sudden they were MIA. I could not find them for the life of me. In fact, they probably did more harm than they did good. And eventually it just got to the point where I was questioning myself. Why am I staying? What am I getting from this friendship? I'm not getting joy. I'm not getting the feeling of welcomeness. I'm not getting anything. In fact, they are draining me. because of all this energy and running around that I have to do because I'm trying to help them. They're not even appreciative, or even if they are, they get themselves into another situation and now I'm just running around putting out fires. There was another one where I was friends with this individual and they were in a toxic friendship, and that toxicity all of a sudden went from the toxic person to the person who I was friends with, and then the person who I was friends with decided that they wanted to put that toxicity that they were choosing to accept onto me. They would put me in a rank for how I was as a friend, so it would be third, fifth, second, never first, because the toxic person was always number one. Now, this person was not my friend because they wanted to push every single button. They wanted to see what they could get away with, what they couldn't. I remember them trying to call me the witch with a B, and they thought that that would be cute. They wanted to see what my reaction was if I would tolerate it. And then when I got pissed off and they realized that I wouldn't tolerate it, then all of a sudden they were apologetic. And now they're no longer in my life. Thankfully, because one, I said, you know what, I have been allowing this to go too far, and then I cut the cord. I stopped talking to them. They kept on reaching out to me. I refused to answer, because if I give you an answer, then you still think that you have access towards me. That is long gone. That is done. So you need to think about it like this. If you continue to allow these people to have access towards your life, or if you continue to allow this, whatever situation it is, to still be in your life, you are robbing yourself of the joy that you could have. You are robbing yourself of everything. In fact, you are sort of disrespecting yourself because you're saying, oh, you can put up with all of this. You don't deserve to have the best. You deserve to just settle with what you think you deserve, or what you think you need, what you think you can handle. And this is when we get into the third lesson. You need to choose you. You hear how it's a dog eat dog world. I don't think that way. I truly think that we are all here to help one another because there's so much kindness in the world. However, you need to help yourself. There's a difference between being kind and being a people pleaser or being a pushover. You need to learn that, hey, I'm here for me. If it's not bringing me joy, if it's not bringing me happiness, then what is it doing in my life? I now have friends that treat me so well. I think of them as second family. I'm able to do what I love for a living. And that's because I decided to take that risk and jump into this opportunity and allow people who were not meant to be in my life, who I may have been settling for, to leave. I cut the cord so that it could leave a space for someone who was a better fit for me. If I kept up with those people, I don't think I would be able to meet all the people that I was able to meet, have the opportunities that I was able to have, because I would have been so much further back. I wouldn't be where I am now. And that is the same thing for you. What is it going to take for you to realize that you can have everything that you want, but you are limiting yourself? You are the only person that is in your way. So you need to choose you. There may be friends, there may be family, there may be coworkers, whatever they may be, telling you that you don't need to do this. You can just stick it out for a couple more times. Who's suffering more? The people who are telling you that you need to suck it up, or you who is sucking it up? Tell me who. There have been many times where people have given me advice and I love them. They're friends, family, or they come with good intentions. However, at the end of the day, I know what is good for me. I know what is best for me. You are seeing a second versus me seeing everything else. So I'm not going to take your advice from looking at 1 second of my life versus me, who is living the actual life and knows what steps I should probably be taking. There were people that were in my life who were saying that, oh, but you need to be the bigger person. Oh, well, you know how they are. And I'm thinking to myself, I know how they are, but that doesn't mean I have to tolerate their BS. If someone is toxic, that all of a sudden doesn't mean that, okay, they're toxic, but we can still be best friends. No. If you're being toxic towards me, if you're harming me, what am I going to do? I'm going to put up with it until you completely harm me? I am going to choose myself because I know that at the end of the day, I deserve the best. I deserve to have the best. Settling hurts me. It hurts me because I am choosing to be in a place that may not even be meant for me. I may be making a temporary situation my permanent residence, and that is not the way to go. So I want you to comment, I deserve the best of the best, because everyone does. Everyone deserves their perfect life, what they believe is their dream life. If you have that vision in your head, and I truly believe that you deserve it. However, you have to get out of your own way. You have to choose who you're going to get advice from, and who are you willing to go, you know what, their advice is right. Whether that means that you say no to family and say, no, actually, thank you for the advice, but I can handle it. Saying no to friends, whoever it is. You know what you need at the end of the day. Whether or not you choose to do it is all up to you. And just like that, we are at the end of our spell casting session. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys have made it this far, I would love to see the magic wand emoji. And I would also like to hear, what is something that you are choosing to cut the cord from? It doesn't have to be super deep, doesn't have to be super personal. You don't have to put your whole life story if you don't want to. But I would love to see that in the comments. And until then, as I always say, stay bewitched. Bye.